Doubles and coffee. While I'm in the traffic here in Small Pin constituency that he don't care about and Rowley don't care about, because every morning if you just want to drop your child to school, you have to suffer in the traffic going out and the productivity and passing where you all the taxpayers pay for Keith Rowley to be very safe. And there are barricades and police and security and special branch, all to keep Keith Rowley safe. But y'all ever ask yourself a question? I saw videos yesterday of a woman lying dead on the highway, possibly jump out a car, some miscreant captured her and so on. Another one, a murder on Carlos Street with ladies all around looking like they were linemen but trying to help a man who had been shot several times. And it dawned on me, in most developed countries, or in most countries that have some sort of government and some sort of law and order, seeing a body that has suffered from violence, seeing a dead body is a rarity. But have you all realized over the last 8 years in Trinidad and Tobago, under Keith Christopher Rowley with his Small Pin Minister of National Security, 519 murders, 539 murders, and then his Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, Pomsite, Rasta, Sativa, Sleepy, Narcolepsy, ride on a horse with an 8-year-old boy, Hines, 614, and now heading for our next 600. That we have a high percentage of human beings, good innocent citizens, who have seen bodies with marks of violence. Think about the percentage of you who have actually seen a dead body. A body with bullets, chop wounds, shot, dead, fresh blood, stale blood, dying blood, security cards dying in citizens' hands. Think about the percentage of our population that has gone through that painful, torturous thing of actually seeing a dead body. And think about other countries where that would be like a rare thing, a shocking thing, that only very few people would go through that. And let me remind you and put it squarely and staple it and stamp it to the chest of Keith Christopher Rowley. Keith Christopher Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, is directly responsible for the upsurge in crime in this country through his decisions. The mere fact that he puts Fitzgerald Hines and leaves him there as Minister of National Security, when everybody, including everybody in the PNM and Patrick Manning and others, knew that Fitzgerald Hines was an incompetent human being, not an incompetent minister, an incompetent human being. Patrick Manning found a man who was a businessman, whose father had given business and he running business and running nightclub and thing, Howard Chinley, in 2003, to make Howard Chinley Minister of National Security above Fitzgerald Hines. Rowley promotes him. Why? Because one thing he shared with Rowley is his hatred or his desire to remove Gary Griffith. So Keith Rowley makes that decision to put an incompetent person at the head. Keith Rowley made the decision to get rid of Gary Griffith as the Commissioner of Police. Whether they like Gary Griffith or not is irrelevant. But them bandit was afraid him. They had respect. Anytime they play bad and show video of gun and killing and so on, he got his officers to pull them in so they would be caught. Now, man walking around in broad daylight on the middle of the road with gun waving, men killing man in hot sun, men killing people holding their daughter's hand, men killing man, mother under bed, men killing children. The place is awry and running amok with chaos, with nonsense. Because the bandits know that Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines and Keith Rowley have no plan. Keith Rowley then handpicked his own Commissioner of Police, not based on merit, not based on his or her ability to solve crime and to put fear into criminals and to protect the citizens. No! He had to make sure that they followed his instructions. So you have police now putting their passion and their effort into investigations that Rowley want. So Rowley wanted FUL, Gary Griffith, FUL, let me get Gary Griffith. So he instructed Police Commissioner Tojam and Erla and police follow that, leading to the abduction of Brent Thomas and embarrassment of Trinidad and Tobago that has not been solved yet about the impact supply. And now FULs, law-abiding citizens cannot get FULs to protect themselves. Grocery, pharmacy, business, bar, anywhere you are, criminals know, the cowards that they are, that you have nothing to fire back at them, because Rowley has to see about himself and his lies that he wants to perpetrate about FULs and Gary Griffith. So FULs, them and all slow down. It was slow before, but Rowley put it a stop. You forget when in 2020, Kamala Persad talked about a security dome. You all seen in Israel and the conflict between Palestinians and Israel now, talking about the Iron Dome and the security dome. Kamala spoke about a security dome involving border protection, vessels, Coast Guard vessels, radar, helicopter, air guard, police, army, roadblocks, customs, excise, and so on. Rowley sat there and laughed and ridiculed the concept of a security dome, but goes in the UN now and say, USA, y'all making guns, we don't make guns, help us now, it coming in the country that he's in charge of. So the proliferation of guns is because Rowley's an idiot. Karen Nunes, Teixeira, remember when you sat in the front and you were laughing and Rowley was going, oh, they're new jobs, dome carpenters, dome builders, dome sweepers. You all PNM, let an idiot make joke about something that is serious. The crime situation is out of hand. We have murders all over the place. And you all don't know that it's because there's an idiot as Prime Minister, a total pathological, dotish idiot called Keith Christopher Rowley. That's why we have crime. Imagine the police who, when they put their minds, bodies, hearts, and soul to a mission, they catch the murderers of the little girl down in Rio Claro and of the family by the Guanapo dump there. But when they have to listen to Rowley and they have no resources and Rowley directs them, and where the resources must go, $50 million to go and try and get political opponents. When Rowley impacts the office of the DPP by starving it of resources, the office of the DPP is to fight crime, and they're operating at 39% of their lawyers for the last 7 years. And Rowley decides to attack the DPP, not give resources, usurp the authority with Faris Al-Rawi in Nelson Gate to try and get involved in criminal prosecution of political opponents. All of these things take time and effort away from the real crime fight, because Rowley's playing games. So y'all are unsafe while he is getting the institutions and the offices and the service to do his bidding. That's why the crime situation is out of hand and out of control, because Keith Rowley is not only incompetent, he's vindictive and selfish. He starved the DPP's office of resources. He has coerced this Chief Justice into being on his side, to talk his things, to play politics. Crime is out of hand because Rowley starved the people of funding. Wean yourself off the video. Wean yourself off the resources of the country. That's what Rowley does. And that's the problem. That's the problem in this country. So the crime situation is a direct result of Keith Christopher Rowley. Keith Christopher Rowley and his policies. That is why we have crime. You wean yourself off of sport, off of culture, off of gate, off of education. No opportunities for the young people. And now all of us get to see murder, mayhem, dead bodies, liming on the avenue, death all around, blood flowing because of Keith Christopher Rowley. He's the man responsible. So understand what, why, where, and how. Rowley, get out of office. Call the election. The country is bleeding.